people to come on. Hey guys. So you're gonna need a big book. I would suggest hardcover if you have, but if you don't, softcover. Or if you have a yoga block, grab a yoga block. So big book or yoga block. And we're gonna start seated in a comfortable position. You can either sit on that book or on your yoga block and find it as a seat. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Perfect. Okay. Finding yourself seated either on a yoga block or a book. Let it elevate your butt slightly off the mat. Let your legs find a comfortable position. You can be propped up with feet kind of in a squat position, or you can be sitting cross-legged like I am, whatever feels better. And then go ahead and let your hands kind of fall somewhere comfortable. Make sure that block feels like it's supporting the pelvis. It's not kind of on the back of your butt cheeks or forward under your pubic bone, but you feel like the block is directly beneath your rib cage. And then go ahead and bring your head back in space a little bit so you feel your abdominals kick on. You're neither leaning forward or back. You're just kind of hanging from the ceiling. Let your eyes soften to a close if that feels healthy. Let your hands relax somewhere comfortable. And just start to find a quick little body scan here. So bringing your awareness to the forehead, letting the wrinkles soften, letting the creases in between the eyebrows let go. And then start to bring your awareness to your ears. Are you hiking them up, or can you let them soften down the sides of your face? Then bringing your awareness to your jaw. Can you let your jaw go? Really let it kind of hang off your bod. And then as you feel the tongue soften away from the roof of the mouth, just take a deep breath into all of that space you've just created by simply letting your face muscles relax. See if you can find this expansive breath both from the chest expanding forward and your back opening behind you. And then as you exhale, keep your height as you feel the ribs narrow towards your belly button. You can use your hands here as a nice little guide as you take 3 more breaths in and out. Perfect. Last 2. Good. Give yourself 1 more deep breath in and out, just finding a little more awareness of where you are in space in this moment. And as you feel your ribs narrow, feel your shoulders sink away from your ears, you're just going to take your left hand to the mat next to you. You're slightly elevated off the floor because you're sitting on that book or block. Bend that left elbow, let the right arm reach all the way up and overhead. My left elbow is slightly bent. My right butt cheek is trying to stay glued into my block. Taking a breath in here. And as you exhale, hang a little heavier in that side bend. Create a little more space through the right side of your torso. And then slowly drive yourself right back up to seated. Right hand finds the mat, left hand up and over. Notice if you feel your weight shift from one butt cheek to the other. See if you can keep your sits bones grounded. Relax your shoulders away from those ears. Take an exhale to hang a little heavier in your stretch. Expand the ribs with that inhale. And then slowly come right back up. Both arms are going to reach up towards the sky. You can interlace your fingers. Reach a little higher, hiking the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Take a big breath in and then separate the hands, let them reach wide and let them drop all the way down to the floor, giving yourself a little shoulder roll here. You're going to take that block or book out from underneath you. You're going to place it on your mat and you're going to find yourself on all fours. For now, hands are just on the mat. Go ahead and find a cat-cow. Let that cat-cow kind of be any version of a cat-cow that feels nice right now. So whether you've already moved today or this is your first movement, find a little bit of intention, move a little bit slower, and really try and get the creaks and cracks out of your body. Whether that means you take a couple circles or even just kick it in a child's pose for a minute and live your best life. Taking 1 or 2 more. Good. And then the next time that you find a nice neutral position of your spine, I want you to go ahead and press down through the palms. Wrap your biceps to shine forward. Shift your hips so they're just hovering above the knees. From here, you're going to go ahead and press down through the left palm so much so your right arm can reach straight out by your ear. Pause here. Try not to stress or strain the muscles on the side of your neck. Try not to put all of your weight into that right knee. And then gently set your right hand back down. Feel that handprint into the mat as you send the left arm forward. Push down, wrap your right bicep forward, give your head a little shake, yes and no, making sure you aren't tightening through the neck. Gaze a little farther forward, and then lower that left hand back down. Adding on already, right arm is gonna reach forward, left leg is gonna extend back. Pause here, drop that left hip bone to face the floor. Think about your right inner thigh kicking on, reaching to the left side of the room. Slowly replace the knee, replace the hand, left arm, right leg extend. Pause. See if you can find a little bit more pressure from the left inner thigh to the right side of the room. Squeeze your right butt cheek just a little bit more. Take the hand and knee down, take one cat-cow. We're gonna add on to this. You're gonna grab your book or your block. That puppy is gonna live on your low back. Okay, so if it falls, don't worry. But once you find that book on your low back, press down into your palms. Ooh, choke. Wrap your biceps forward. Extend that right arm straight out past your ear. Take a breath in. Nothing has shifted, nothing has moved. Lower that right hand down. Use the block as some proprioception here, some feedback to notice if you're leaning left to right. Pressing the right palm down, extend the left arm forward. Find that reach and that push. And then slowly lower that left hand back down. Here's where it gets fun. Right arm is going to lengthen forward. Left leg is going to extend back. Try and find that even press down through the left palm, that squeeze of the right inner thigh, that reach from heel to fingertips. Slowly bring those limbs back down. Feel very little shift. You're keeping that book or block balanced on your low back as the left arm, right leg extend. This week we're talking about reformer to mat, mat to reformer. And one of the biggest lessons I learned when I started teaching and taking reformer is that those springs give you feedback. They give you resistance. Well, so do everyday household items, like the floor in a book, right? So trying to be mindful as you move through this for 2 more. Good. On this last one, right arm extends, left leg extends. Keep those limbs there. You're going to slowly open your left leg a few inches to the left, your right arm a few inches to the right. Try not to let yourself shift over to the right side of the room. And then drag those limbs back to center. Can you press deeper down through the left palm? Ignite that left shoulder a little bit more. Try not to lift your left hip. Keep those hips square. 4 more. Can you pull your belly button up into your lumbar spine? Last 3. Notice where you are looking. 2 more. Can you connect your front 2 ribs a little bit more away from the floor? Final 1 for me. Bring those limbs to center, lower them back to the mat. We go straight to the other side, left arm, right leg. Take a moment, push down through that right palm, wrap your bicep forward, relax the left shoulder away from your ear, open and close those limbs. Notice if this side feels a little wonkier or a little more put together. If it's your wonkier side, for me it is, try and go a little bit smaller range of motion and focus on keeping that spine the same neutral shape. Last 3. This is 2. Can you find length in the back of your neck? Final 1. Bring those limbs down. Take that book off. Put it in front of you and just take a child's pose. Belly can come right onto the thighs, or you can widen your knees a little bit, create some space. Opening up those hips, letting your shoulders get a moment of relief. If your shoulders are super tight and it feels good, you can bring your hands to the book for a little elevation. Breathe into the side of your body as if you had wings that you were opening wide. And as you exhale, turn into a puddle of mush on the floor. Gorgeous. You're going to go ahead and leave that block where it is, or that book. You're going to find yourself on your butt. Once you find yourself on your butt, your left foot will be on the mat, your right foot will be on the book. If you have bigger feet like me, my toes hang off, but make sure that your heel is supported on your prop. And then slowly lay yourself right down into your mat. Pulling your butt a little closer to your heels until you feel like your heels live just beneath your kneecaps. Taking your hands to your pelvis, notice if your shoulders are rounded forward, try and widen the collarbones. With hands on the pelvis, you'll notice that your pelvis is nice and even though your feet and thigh bones are not. We're going to try and keep that pelvis nice and even as we find our tuck. So as you draw your navel in, still think of lengthening the knees over that second and third toe. Feeling even work through the waist And then gently release back into neutral. Good. Can you imagine a tennis ball between your inner thighs here as you find that tuck and release? Finding different variations in height is a good one that we do on the reformer all the time, using the foot bar and the platform, really challenging balance and connection. Same thing here with your foot on a book, you know? Feel if you're tightening in that hip flexor, can you try and lengthen your thigh bones a little farther away from you as you oppositionally pull your belly button to spine. The next time you tuck that pelvis, you are going to start to peel those hips up into your bridge. Hang out in a bridge that works for you. Can you pin your ribs back down to the floor? Can you tilt your pubic bone to the sky a little bit more? Find that both heels are nice and heavy. Can you squeeze your butt just a little bit tighter before rolling your spine all the way back down into the mat? Adjust your footing if you need. You can always ditch the prop altogether. But if you can manage to keep it, it's fun. Finding that peel up to your highest bridge. Arms can do whatever feels right. If your balance feels solid, maybe fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. If those arms are straight up towards the sky, y'all, can you pin the back of your shoulder into the mat so your chest isn't overworking for no reason? We stay hunched over for most of our day, even me currently right now as I prep to open the studio. I am working at a computer more than I ever thought I would, and more than I really like to, but doing all of the Pilates in the counter is gonna help me keep my shoulders chill, hopefully. The next time you peel that butt up, let's stay up there. Keeping your head soft, keeping your chin off of chest, you are gonna press so heavy into that right heel that you can float your left leg up effortlessly into tabletop. And when I say effortlessly, I mean with lots of effort. Reach your right knee forward, press into your right heel a little bit more, and then simply tap that left foot right back down. Feel the left foot press into the mat first before floating it right back up. So this is not for speed, nor is it ever really for speed, but this is about igniting that right glute to find your single leg bridge and then giving it a moment to reset as your left foot comes back down. You want to feel each rep a little bit more aligned, a little bit more controlled. Good. Last 3. Can you tilt your pubic bone to the sky a little bit more, hollow out the low abs. Last 2, and then we obviously keep it lifted. Good. On this last one, float that left leg up in space. If it feels okay for your body, straighten that left leg to the sky. 10 pulses up. Find that under butt, drive through the heel, keeping the foot nice and heavy. Don't lift those toes off for 5, 4, 3. You're gonna keep it here in 2. Last one, hold it here, melt your spine down, keeping that leg nice and long. You're gonna bend that left leg to tabletop, take your hands beneath your head. Right foot is staying heavy in the block. Take a breath in, tip those elbows forward, nod and curl yourself so that you're meeting your left leg in tabletop. Right foot is still pressing down into the block, and then gently lay your head back down. You can take a floppy tabletop if your left quad is super tight. Your right heel, your right butt cheek should still feel relatively active as it presses down into that block. Really starting to fire that whole right chain of your bod. And then notice if your head is kind of leading the way. Can you keep the weight of your head a little heavier in your palms? Tip the elbows a little bit more up towards the ceiling. Ooh, there's my abs. Last 3. Just lengthening a little more as you lie down. Finding a deeper engagement as you curl up. Last 2. Finding a heavier exhale as you find that curl, you guys. If you hollow to empty, you're more likely to ignite that transverse. The next time that you curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, hold it there. You're going to take a deep twist up and over to the left, keeping everything else super square. Twist right back to center. Can you press into your right heel as you twist to the left? And then back to center. Use the feedback of your heel pressing down into that block as you twist to keep that right side super active. 4 more, and then we're gonna hold that twist. Good, last 3. Notice if you're letting that left elbow drop to the floor, can you frame that left thigh with your elbows? 2 more. The next time that you find that deep rotation, we hold.
You're gonna kick your right leg straight out to that long diagonal. Find all of the energy in the back of that right leg that you've built up. Take 10 slow pulses. Reach out through that right heel. You can always keep it on the block if you need for 5. Slow it down for 4. Try not to crank on that neck. Last 3. Can you have more energy out through the right heel? 2 more. Very last one. Twist to center. Pull your knees into your chest. Let your head drop back. Give yourself a couple little rolls, little circles of your thigh bones inside of the hip sockets. A juicy massage. Aye. And then just reverse. If you just want to roll around a little side to side, give your low back a moment to chill, please do so. Good. And then go ahead and find yourself seated all the way up. Right hand is going to come onto that block, left hand is going to come onto the floor. So your hands are now at different heights. You're going to step your left foot back and then your right foot back so you're in a plank. Find that your shoulders are still relatively square. Your right arm is going to work a little bit harder than your left for this next round. If you need a little more support, you're going to widen your stance or bring your knees down for support. Find the pressure into that right palm, into the book as you spin open left arm to the sky. Now try and keep your hips square to the floor. You're going to bring that left hand right back down. Tap it to the mat, square your hips, and then tap your right shoulder. Bring the hand down, find your plank. Rotate open, left fingertips to the sky, right hand is leaving a handprint in your book. Rotate down, find your plank, tap your right shoulder. We go for 4. Now the elevation of this is to not let your left hand tap the mat whatsoever. Ooh, shit, that's wild. 3 more. Oh my God. Last 2, friends. Solid. Last one. Find your plank, both hands down, just breathe for 5. Oop, breathe for 4. We pike up in 3. Last 2. Step your right hand off the book so your hands are square on the mat. Pike your hips up towards the sky. Hot diggity, my right oblique is pissed. Take a little pedal of your thighs, rotate your hips a little bit here. Do whatever feels good in your downward dog. Big breath in and out. Good, you're gonna pull your knees in underneath you, set them to the mat, untuck the toes, take your child's pose. Big breath. Placing your block or book off to the side, take your hands all the way over to the left side of the mat. Find that big opening in the right side of your body. Just work that right shoulder and right oblique and right butt cheek so hard. So intensely. Try and open it up a little bit with a little motion of your ribs. And some breath into your intercostals. Good. You're gonna walk those hands back to center. You're gonna sit on that butt, book or block underneath your left foot. We just do it all on the other side. Solid. Just make sure I have time. Once you have your book underneath your left foot, make sure that your feet look nice and square, nice in line with your sits bones, and then lay yourself right down into your mat. Take a second once you lie down into your mat. Find that your feet feel even if your toes are slightly off of your prop. And then start to just find your pelvic tuck again. Hip bones draw towards your low ribs. Gently release back to neutral. Try and make strong connections to both sides. Try and let your head get heavy in the mat again. Try and feel the backs of your shoulders touch down. Good. You're going to start to turn this into your full bridge. So pressing into both feet evenly. Start to peel your hips up. Pause in your bridge, tilt your pubic bone a little more, lengthen your knees forward instead of wide, and pull your ribs back down in space. You should freely be able to nod your head no. And then gently keeping all of that engagement from the under butt, keep the reach of the knees as you melt your spine down bone by bone. Let it all relax at the bottom, and then do it all over again on your next exhale. Arms can reach up towards the sky if you're feeling really good about your form and where your pelvis is in space. Notice if you let your shoulders hover off the mat as you peel your hips up. If so, press the backs of the shoulders down. You can even spin your pinkies a little closer towards each other. to find that little plug of your humeral head. Or hands pressing down for support. And then try and be mindful if you're feeling your thighs kind of waver side to side. What can you adjust or what? Last one like this, you're gonna peel those hips up and hold. Take a breath at the top, tuck your pelvis a little bit more, press into that left foot so heavy you can float your right leg to tabletop. Pause, squeeze that left butt cheek a little more, lengthen that left thigh, pull your ribs down a little heavier if you feel your low back at all. Step your right foot down, re-engage both sides. Exhale, right leg lifts. Step the foot down, feel both feet, tuck the pelvis again before floating it back up. So again, no rush. I want that right foot to fully absorb into the mat before you lift it back off. Make those adjustments for your neck, for your shoulders, so that you are truly giving the lower half of your body its time to shine. Last 2. You are there, you guys. Stay focused on what you're trying to find, that left booty cheek. The next time you float that right leg up in space, we hold. Maybe you straighten your right leg to the sky, flex that foot, 10 slow squeezes. I legit imagine just crushing a jelly bean between my butt cheek and the upper back of my thigh. Just deepening that crease. It does not have to be big for 5. Ooh, can your inner thighs stay active? Last 3, we're gonna hold that leg straight up in 2. Last one, melt your spine all the way down. Right knee just bends to tabletop. Give your hips a little wiggle, feel your pelvis nice and square, hands find the back of your head. Take a moment with the hands behind the head, tip those elbows slightly forward, and go ahead and find your ab curl. Notice if your knees are pointing to the corners of the room or the side walls, and try and lengthen those knees over your second and third toe. Can you keep pressing down into that left heel as you curl up? Good, 4 more, just straight up ab curls. Try not to let that right hip hike. Still feeling the back of that left leg engage for 2. The next time that you find that ab curl, we stay there. Deep breath in, press your head into your palms. Remind yourself that your neck is relaxed. Take that deep twist up and over to the right. Twist back to center. Press that left heel even heavier, twist up and over to the right. Back through center. I'm taking my right thumb into my right hip just to push it away a little bit more. I tend to shorten on that right side. You want to try and find the lift up and over from the left side of your body. If your left oblique doesn't know what's happening, give it a little poke. Last 2. And then we hold that deep twist. The next time you find that rotation up and over to the right, friends, stay there. You take 10 pulses. If you want, you kick that left leg straight out. Try to reach through the back of the left leg. Find energy out through it. Don't let that right elbow sink to the floor. Press your head into your hands again, and then deepen your twist from the ribs for 5, for 4. Last 3, for 2, you are there. Last 1, pull the knees in. Let your head drop back. Take a couple thigh circles, roll around on the floor for a moment, find a little breath into your body, and then sit yourself all the way up. Left hand is gonna find that book, or that block, or the floor, whatever you need. Take a little cat-cow or a little shoulder roll if you need it beforehand. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back, you're in your plank. Hands are uneven, shoulders are relatively square, hips are definitely square. Knees can come down, or you can widen the stance of your feet as you twist open to the right side, right arm reaches to the sky. Rotate back down to the floor, right hand finds the mat. Find your full plank before tapping your left shoulder with your right palm. Bring it back down to the mat, then spin open, right arm to the sky. Rotate back down to the floor, bring the right hand down, square the hips, right hand taps the shoulder. Keep it up with the right hand tapping down between each rep, or you ditch the tap down and you go with just the rotation and the shoulder tap. Jesus. Really working the left shoulder, left side of your waist. We go for 3. Whew. This is 2, friends. You are there. Last one. Find your right hand down, hold your plank. Kick that block out of the way. Both hands are on the mat. Just breathe in your plank for 5. Make a connection to both sides of your body for 3. Last 2. Pike your butt up on 1. Find your downward dog. Oh my. Pedal out your legs. Do what you gotta do. Good. You're gonna gently pull your knees in underneath you. Untuck your toes. Sit your butt back over your heels. As you find this child's pose, walk your hands over to the right side. Breathe into the left side of your body that you just worked. Take one more breath in and out. Walk your hands back through center. Sit yourself up. We have just enough time for one last thing, I promise. It's one last little bit of hard work. Stick it out with me, I promise it's fun. Lay yourself down, find your block. Place it between, or your book. Place it between your feet so it looks like you have a 3rd foot, yeah? Flattering frame. Now squeeze the legs almost together. Imagine there's a book between your knees just like there is between your feet. Flex your feet for me. Hands find the back of the head. Deep breath in, find a little push, you guys. Squeezing those inner thighs together, curl up, extend the legs to your high diagonal. Keeping that block squeezed between the inner part of your feet, but both feet are flexed. All 10 toes are pulling back towards your nose. Bend the knees in, tap your head down. Just 4 like this. That squeeze, that pressure out through the backs of the legs is as if your feet were on straps. Woo! Last 2. Good, we're gonna stick it out. You're gonna curl up, you're gonna extend those legs long for one final bit. Squeeze that block even tighter, lower the legs an inch. Scoop them up 1 inch. Try not to move from your low back. Think of finding deeper creases in the front of the hips as you lift. Now can you squeeze that book even tighter? Pull your pinky toes back towards your face even more. For 4. Last 3. It's gonna suck, but we're gonna roll up into teaser. You're almost done. Last 2. On this last one, bend those knees into tabletop, reach your arms forward. Nice and slow, curl yourself up into your teaser, maybe even a full teaser and hold for 5. Woo, for 4. Last 3, stick it out, squeeze a little tighter, relax your shoulders for 2. Pull your knees in, lay it down on 1. Whew. Let your knees open wide, let your arms open wide. Just take a deep breath in and out. Give yourself a little high five for making it, even if you just laid there and watched. Bless you. And then whenever you're ready, reach those arms all the way up overhead. Extend those legs nice and long. Give them a little roll. And nice and slow, reach those arms to the ceiling, nod and curl yourself all the way up and over those feet for your little forward fold. Whew. That was a burner. Whew. Go ahead and stack yourself up nice and tall. Give it a little shake. Give your jaw a few wiggles. And go enjoy the rest of your night. If you have questions, I'm here. Be on the lookout this week for more info about the new studio, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.